What's going on, everybody? And we are logging on to episode 172 of the podcast. Welcome, as I am your host, Frank McKnight. I am here with my co-host, Luke Gans. Thank you for being here, buddy. I'm doing...
How's everyone?
Everyone is good, man. Everyone is all good.
That's the life we like to hear about.
That always.
Shit.
We got a special episode for you guys today, as always, as we're doing or talking about the most hated fandoms or the most toxic fandoms, along with the more popular and positive fandoms. We're not doing a top 5 this week, but we are doing a tier list, the S through F tier list. I believe they kind of use this format mainly for like Smash and video game characters and stuff like that, or media characters, right?
Twitter is very popular with it. Like I always, we were talking about it, and I think it's like it's one of those funny, like it always will come up on my timeline of just something random. It'll be like we talked about the other day, like vegetables or fruits, and you're like, you just see people get so divisive over like a cucumber definitely has to be on the fucking S tier. Like people are fighting over it. So we were like, you know what, let's kind of change it up a little bit. Let's see what works. And it's nice because it's like we can kind of talk about still having a top 5 and having our different viewpoints,
right,
but not having it in that stereotypical of where we always do, here's 5, here's 4, here's 3.
100%.
Let's kind of talk it over. Oh, no, you're at C, I'm at A. All right, we got to compromise and put it
and meet it in the middle.
Things like that. So, yeah, I mean, it'll be fun. I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it, too. It's something different, and that's what we've been doing lately on the podcast as far as these formats and talking about shit, and I've been enjoying the experimental procedures.
Changing up.
But first we're going to do a couple of things before we get into our card game, which we also haven't done in a while, our movie trivia card game. There's a bunch of talk about as far as movie news. Luke, you haven't been on the pod in a while. There's plenty of shit to talk about. And I want to start off with this one.
Yeah.
As far as I was saying before, experimental.
Yeah.
Did you hear what they're doing with Beatles? The Beatles?
I know the cast is like
announced and everything. They confirmed the cast with Joseph Quinn, who's Human Torch, the guy who plays Druig from Eternals. I forgot his name, from Banshees of Inisherin. I forgot his name, dude. From Saltburn also.
Oh, darn.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
His name is...
That's going to bother me, but all right. I'm not too sure what his name is. But... yeah, I know. I couldn't fucking get someone on the computer either today. They would have just lickety-split like that. But anyway, they announced the cast, but they also announced this at CinemaCon about it. It's not just one movie.
Barry Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan, yes. Very good. Very good. Yes.
We still got it. Oh, my God. Just let my brain do its thing, and eventually we'll get there.
Well, let me say something real quick. Hold on. Yeah, but...
CinemaCon had something.
Oh, yeah. CinemaCon announced that there are going to be 4 Beatle movies, each movie focusing on each Beatle.
Fuck. That's
Dude,
so dumb.
Bro, not just that. You want to hear the kicker?
Dumb.
The kicker is all 4 movies are getting released on the same day in theaters.
Oh, that's so stupid.
So it does seem like a stupid concept, but I do like the fact that they're trying to experiment with different ways to make it a movie event or movie experience. I don't think it's going to work out well at all.
You know what would have been smarter? Releasing one a quarter.
Agreed.
Like, okay,
Agreed.
Here's one. 3 months later, here's another. Like,
I think they're trying
I always say I hate to hate on people's creative process, but that's not a creative process. That's just not a smart... Are we sure this is confirmed, or is this like...
No, confirmed at CinemaCon like 2 weeks ago by the director. Same director for all 4 movies, too. So, I'm there, yeah. I'm not a fan of the idea. I'm more of a fan of them trying to change it up.
I
don't think this is the way.
I'm not a big Beatles guy, but I would have preferred... if they had done like a movie to like start where they were all young, getting into music, and then at the end of that movie, them getting together.
Yeah.
Then the second movie would have been their
when they're
rise
big
to stardom,
and rise.
Then their third movie could have been their
the
fall
breakup.
from grace, the breakup, whatever, and the reuniting, and then almost end it. You could have ended at their like final show, and then not even played it and been done. You're welcome. If you'd like to hire me, here's my But I don't know.
It's interesting, but like stupid. I agree. I agree with you on
listen,
that factor of it.
Maybe it'll be good and like whatever, but also it's like, what is each one going to be 2 hours?
That's what I'm saying
like
too.
2 hours and 25 minutes
Like,
each movie. You're going to dedicate 9+ hours to
I know
that?
I'm not. I also think we're gonna find out who the most popular Beatle is just by the box office records.
I mean,
And
I don't think we...
I think it's already known anyway.
We don't really... I
Paul
think, honestly,
McCartney,
I think Paul McCartney and then probably John Lennon and then George Harrison and then Ringo.
Yes,
But
100%. That's how it's going to work
that's
out.
That's our power rankings. All right, thanks everyone for coming on the pod. We'll just do the Beatles power rankings real quick.
That would actually... I mean, it's pretty predictable, but that would be kind of cool to talk about.
I think that's basically...
That's it.
I mean,
that
we
was
just
it
kinda
right
ripped
there.
it off
Yeah.
right there. I don't think that was a problem, but...
Also, we got the Avengers Doomsday cast in, which I was vocal about on the podcast Instagram of how stupid I thought the event was, but also it was still exciting to find out the cast. Just the way they did it, I was not a fan of. Why are you making us wait every 20 minutes just for them to move to the next chair for a new name? Did you actually?
Yep,
yeah,
because I think, as I've said on this podcast and people haven't been able to hear me rant about in a very long time, is we have become, as a society, so need, gimme, and like no one has the patience.
Yeah.
We did not know the cast for movies back in the day until they did. Like, we didn't know the spoilers and the surprises and, oh my god, like, we knew who the main characters were, but then we didn't know, oh my god, they brought on fucking Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
We didn't know that shit.
We're almost very spoiled in that sense.
Is it the best way to do it? No. Like, I probably would have honestly loved if they had peppered it over months. Like, I would have almost preferred them, like, releasing over every month until the movie comes out, like a fucking, like 4-pack of who it was going to be. Like, oh, 4 more characters. Like, I would have loved that. But, like, I think now, similar to, like, pop-ups that artists do and things like that, it's like you're always looking for that next, like, what can we do to kind of change the, like, way people view or how people take in information? Sure. So, you know, I mean, it's the ever-changing way of, again, everyone used to do Comic-Con. Now Comic-Con's kind of dying. Everyone used to do the video game. What's the video game one?
Yeah, I forgot, dude. I don't know.
World.
Yeah, I don't know.
But again,
we're off it.
You know, again, Star Wars Celebration, all these things used to happen, and that was where the big stuff came out. And now they know, like, oh, now it's not as necessary. We have to release it differently. Yeah. Like, same thing, Andor. Andor's coming out next week, and they're doing 3 episodes at a time. I don't necessarily love that because, like, I get why they're doing it because basically each 3 episodes of Andor, for example, this is my Super Bowl week. This is, like, one of the more exciting weeks for me, as I said. The Masters just ended.
Oh, right.
NASCAR is just starting. I'm a big NASCAR guy. So NASCAR just started. My guy won on Sunday. Let's go Kyle Larson. Let's run it. Yeah. So Kyle Larson won, right? We go into this week. We have the Raw before WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. We have the preparation for WrestleMania Friday on WrestleMania. WrestleMania is this Saturday weekend. And Sunday this weekend. NASCAR is off on Sunday for Easter. So, you know, decent food on Easter weekend with the family, whatever. Sure. Next week is the Raw after it. Then the NFL draft is on Thursday. I see Star Wars on Friday. NASCAR again on Sunday. And then there's something else on Saturday that I can't remember. But
that's pretty loaded.
In the peak of it.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we're like 2 weeks away from
Thunderbolts? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but you know, like I said, it just like I'm okay with the way they're going about it. I don't know why I went on that tangent, but you're welcome. You know,
I would have
like I don't think they did it perfectly, but I think it's like now we're like, oh shit, okay, cool. Like,
listen, believe me, I'm glad. I was excited that the cast was getting revealed. I just wish it would, instead of like an 8-hour all day thing. Yeah. It was like an hour presentation of like, of Kevin Feige on stage, like,
I think
presenting.
It just locks people in, though. You know what I mean?
It
like,
did. Well, it
now,
did.
Guess what?
It did.
Hey, guess what? We're talking about it.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
you win once again. You know, so it's like, it's the same thing. I don't know. I mean, there's.
You want to know what else I was pissed about that? Why was Robert Downey Jr. the last name to be revealed when he was the only one we knew was going to be?
I mean, that's like
obviously
on purpose.
Obviously.
What's your opinion on the cast, though? Are you fine with it?
Yeah. I am. They're leaning heavy towards Fox X-Men, obviously.
Well,
but
I think they have to do that to get into Secret Wars.
Exactly.
You know, the whole point is
Exactly.
that, I mean, we might not even see them in the movie until like the very end. That's my opinion.
I don't
see them as early.
I disagree with
I don't
that.
think we're gonna see them at the very end. I'm saying we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna meet them in fucking the first part of the movie.
I think so.
See, dude, I think we're gonna meet them more into the middle of the end, introing. Excuse me, not them as the big bad, but like again, it's gonna be a fight towards
100%.
I don't see. I mean, and again, look, the Russo brothers. I have all the faith in the world.
Me too.
So I'm not really
Me
concerned.
too.
But like, how are you gonna just like drop them in and be like, oh, welcome to these are the X-Men?
It's
like,
the stupidity of the multiverse. That's what it is.
which is fine because it makes sense of what it is.
Of what it is.
And,
Correct.
And listen, they're making the best of it. Again,
Yeah.
I still don't think this was the worst chunk of movies. I don't think it was the best chunk of movies. I don't think it was the best chunk of Marvel.
Well, you're talking by phase or like this saga?
Well, phase. I mean, it's better. It's worse. The worst phase in the sense that, like, obviously,
of these
phase
last
2 or
three?
3 was fine. You know, I just think it's like there's bad movies in phase 1. There's bad movies in phase 1.
Yeah, there's bad movies in each phase. Well, except for phase 3, it was just
Phase 3
amazing.
is just basically.
But you're right. You're right though.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, I'm very excited to see what happens with Thunderbolts.
I'm very excited for it, dude.
I mean, I think that's gonna be. I really hope that just is a fucking. I hope that's a banger. Like, I hope that really is like Deadpool Wolverine, where we just leave and we're like, all right, cool. Like, this is exactly what we wanted.
I think it's going to be a very good character-driven movie, and I think that's going to help it a lot.
Yep.
We're talking about like B2C list characters.
Yeah.
But I think them together and they actually give them good
Kill a couple
drive.
people off, bro.
Yeah, I think like who's gonna die? I think Taskmaster is done. They barely show her in the trailers.
Oh yeah. No,
I think she's done.
No, but you know what? I think she's probably going to be one of the only ones to die because I think everyone
Agreed.
else was scheduled in this next movie.
Correct.
So
Taskmaster was the only one
that's not in this movie.
Yes,
So,
right. They kind of like spoil whatever.
Which that's my gripe with it. It's when you admit certain people. I would have almost preferred, and like this is where my creative juices go. Do the exact casting that you did.
Yeah.
None of the people from Thunderbolts, and then like in 5 weeks after Thunderbolts has been out for a couple weeks, put out that exact same thing and be like, oh shit, and like someone stumbling to put chairs out.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Right? Like,
that's a good idea.
Sorry, we forgot these ones.
Yes.
So that afterwards, the people that have already seen Thunderbolts can be like, all right, cool, we're good. And then if not, like David Harbour putting those chairs out in that accent would be hilarious. Like,
agreed.
We forgot to do this.
Yeah, and I love him. I love him as Red Guardian
so
too.
Good
He's
as Red
awesome.
Guardian.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, you know, there's a lot going on right now. My head is spinning because not only that, so Robert Pattinson can possibly confirmed for Dune 3.
I know as the villain, but that's amazing news. But that's also bad news for Batman. Okay. When is this thing gonna get filmed?
You know what? Listen, I'm a huge advocate for that Batman. I think that's possibly the second best Batman. I really do.
Yeah,
he killed it. My opinion.
Oh, he did.
My opinion. I could give so many
because of Dune.
Because of Dune.
Yeah, I know.
No offense,
I know.
That movie shot up for me and literally became top 5 all-time movies.
No, it's amazing.
I mean, it's a masterpiece.
Especially part 2, I thought was fantastic.
Part 2 is whatever.
I got you.
It is just so good. So, where is she?
Oh, he's there.
There she is.
She's there, yeah.
She's here.
Oh
God. There she is. This movie.
Fucking trophy.
I hope to talk to my children about, and this is me holding this as terrible timing, as I say, like I want to talk to my children about this. But this fucking movie is just so good, and now that also it's funny that Jason Momoa is back for the next movie.
I know, I heard that.
So if you know a little bit about
Dune, the books, like I'm sure he comes back in some capacity.
Comes back, yeah, but people were like, it's so funny because people that don't know Dune were like, what the. He's back? This is a spoiler? And everyone's like, it's not really a spoiler because these books have been out for 100 years.
Oh, yeah. They've
been out forever. Yeah. Okay. Dune talk. Andor, I'm excited. It's coming out. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Could care less.
We're not a Harry Potter podcast here, but a very interesting, in my opinion. I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, but my disdain for Harry Potter is because I was a Star Wars kid, right?
Right.
So growing up, Harry Potter kids thought I was weird. You don't like Harry Potter? Like, no.
I
like laser swords instead of wands. My bad.
Right.
Like, my bad.
Which I agree with.
But But again, I like Harry Potter's concept. Like, if I became a diehard, I would probably love it. Like,
right,
I really
and
would.
get
But
the
at this
lore
point,
of it
I'm
and
just like,
everything.
you know what? Everyone, I have to fight people on a constant basis about the lore. So I'm like, you know what? This is fine. This is where I'm gonna. This is the hill I'm gonna die on.
Yeah, yeah.
I just find it so interesting that they would choose to not just do another future show or a prequel, and in
like to continue the actual
rebooting it.
Yeah,
I just think that's so dumb. Like, you made a cult classic, and then you're like, eh.
I actually don't mind the idea.
Oh God.
Because listen, think of it this way. Like, I love that they made a movie for basically each book. Imagine doing a whole season of each book. There's so much more to dive into in the material of the books.
But why are you not doing that with the actors and actresses that are literally still alive? 90% of them.
Well, it would have to be a reboot.
But no, but I'm saying you could do a post the.
Post Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows? Agreed. They have the Cursed Child.
The Cursed Child.
Yes.
Not a Harry Potter guy. Why would you not dive into that? You literally have Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Watson.
I agree.
All these people.
I agree with that.
I understand that huge main characters have died and passed on, which is unfortunate, but it's not like you're even just recasting them. You're just doing it to everything, and I don't get that. If you want to make it a show about them as young people, then I'm all in for it, but all I've been hearing is that this is going to be a reboot of the movie. And I understand what you're saying, but when have we ever seen a reboot for something that's in the past 20 years that's a full reboot? Besides, like, more, like, DC stuff.
Besides superhero stuff?
But nothing. And I get it's fantasy or whatever, but, like, okay, Dune, they made that over with better quality and better movies. Those Harry Potter movies are good. Like, people like those movies.
Right.
People still read the books. People still do the fan fiction. People go to the amusement parks where these characters are still there. 100%, yes. So now you're introducing a whole new line of people. I don't get it. It does not make sense to me. It's like basically...
You think it's too soon?
It's like if Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6 came out, and then 10 years later, when they made the new Phantom Menace, they made 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, right. And it wasn't as good.
But and listen, it might be better because now you're going to put it on HBO and whatever. You can put more into it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think you got a good take on it.
Maybe it'll be good. Like, I mean, listen,
I think it will be.
I love HBO content.
Exactly.
So, like, I'm going to watch it. But at the end of the day, I don't get it. I really don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
Severance is awesome. If you're watching Severance, good
Yep, just recently
if
ended.
If you're not, then...
I have not watched it. But I'll tell you what, love the theme song. I listen to the theme song constantly. And it's I found out what the actual concept of the show is, and I am so intrigued.
Oh, it's so good.
So I am definitely going to check that out. The shows that I'm watching right now, Last of Us just premiered on this past Sunday. I watched that first episode. They haven't skipped a beat, so I won't, but that's all I'll say. And Daredevil ends tonight. What's that?
I wanted to say
Daredevil ends tonight. Yes. And the little spiel that I'll say about that, I'm a huge Netflix Daredevil fan. Huge. They have announced this thing forever. Then I had and I was excited about it. Concerned after they scrapped everything, but then excited again that they're actually continuing from the Netflix show. So with that said, went into this cautious, but still very excited. I love it. I love it. But
do you love it or like it?
No. I do love it.
Okay, good.
I do love it.
Great.
But it isn't entirely up to par to the Netflix first 3 seasons.
It's hard to do that with Disney. You know what I mean? Netflix had more control of being able to be like, cool, we could do whatever.
Agreed.
Like, it was what you know what's crazy? I met a kid that said they liked Golden Fist the other day.
Iron Fist.
No, I'm gonna.
Golden Fist.
I used to call it Golden Fist, so I'm gonna.
That's crazy because it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
That's crazy. The guy's crazy. So
what I will say about Born Again, I think it will become up to par once again with the Netflix show because this first season is very much all set up.
And it's only gonna be like it's only one season.
It's only one season.
And that's what I think Disney did a good job. Because what I think they've done is they've done their thing.
Yeah.
And now they're like, cool.
Yeah.
Now we know what works, which Daredevil works. Let's do that as a season again. Let's not do Echo, but let's do Echo in Daredevil. Let's do Ironheart in Daredevil. Let's do Hawkeye by itself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they're making the right path now of saying, okay, these are the heroes, and we don't have to just put stuff out because we want to give more content.
Yeah.
Let's put characters in these shows that are a little bit more mainstream and more sought after.
I gotcha.
And then by doing that, it gives people that love of like, oh, I really like I liked Echo and Hawkeye. I thought that was a very interesting
Oh, so you
character.
did watch Echo.
I didn't watch Echo, no.
Oh,
but I watched
okay.
Hawkeye.
You see,
but I'm saying I liked Echo in Hawkeye.
Yeah. You see, I was the opposite end of that, but I ended up liking the Echo
After you
show.
watched it.
And
Yeah,
I also
exactly.
like it even more now because there are to Hawkeye and
Tie-ins.
Echo,
Yeah.
the tie-ins in Daredevil. Miss Marvel tie-in with Daredevil. I don't know if you got if you heard anything about that. Not her exactly, but a character in that show.
Got it.
But anyway, it's very good. The next season comes out next year already.
That's awesome.
They're almost done filming the second season
That's
right
awesome.
now. And kudos to you, Marvel. I think you didn't fuck this one up. This one up.
Just a quick piece. Nolan's next movie is The Odyssey.
The Odyssey, correct.
And he's building a 30-foot tall monster in a cave somewhere. And
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm fully bought in on that.
Amazing cast.
Yeah.
Tom Holland just finished filming.
The Oscars are the worst thing to ever happen, ever.
Wasn't
ever,
such a disservice
ever.
that Denny did not get nominated for
Ever.
Best Director?
ever.
I can understand Dune Part 2 not being nominated for Best Picture, even though it still very well could have, but it's that franchise stigma they try to stay away from. Denny 100% should have gotten a nomination for Best Director.
Ever.
I know. It was a disservice. I also didn't even like the Oscar
won?
show this
What
year.
won?
I don't. Oh, Anora for Best Picture.
But, you sure about that?
Yeah, I think so. I think Anora won. Do you know it? You're talking about this past Oscars.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I want you to see. Thank God the winner of the show was what it was, but the fact I'm gonna pull it up because this is what I really get pissed off at. So Anora won, but the best the best director or best something was
Best Director. I need to think now.
It's not no, the best. There was an award that specifically, I mean, absolutely just pissed me off so much, and now I look like an idiot trying to figure it out.
Visual effects?
No. Amelia Perez. So that movie is absolute just dog shit.
That honestly, so many people were confused and mad that got nominated for a lot of awards for the Oscars this year. Craziness.
I gotta look it up because it won something, and I remember being like, supporting actress.
Best supporting actress.
What's her name? Shit, I can't remember. They got nominated for 13. They won 2. Zoe Saldana won.
Yes,
Best Supporting.
yes, correct.
But it just goes to show it is just so dumb. I don't give a flying fuck when that movie came out. Dune 2 not being nommed for some of that stuff is insane.
Oh, I agree.
Is insane.
I agree.
But it just goes to show it is the most hypocritical bullshit. I don't care your politics. I don't care any of that stuff. This should be based off what is going on and what is like. It's the same thing of like the Heisman nomination, the MVP of football and baseball. Like, it's all a popularity contest now.
Correct.
It's not going off of the facts of what the better movie is or what was done better.
No,
We're going off of, well, people really liked this because it was diverse and it... Oh, my God, shut up.
Yeah.
That is not an excuse. We're in Hollywood. You're in Hollywood. Like, Hollywood is not this ancient... Only boys can play sports. Like, that's not how Hollywood is. So the fact that you're going out of your way to give, for example, how did Wicked not win more stuff? Wicked was a good, solid movie. That movie over Amelia Perez?
I know.
Dude, it is so dumb. And I always say I love when artists, right, for example, Post Malone made a country album. I liked it. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a country guy for the most part. I listen to it a lot more than I used to, but it's not my thing. But I was like, oh, that's awesome. He went up against Lainey Wilson, Luke Combs, Chris Stapleton, Beyonce, and him.
Oh, Beyonce won.
Yep.
I know. That I found crazy
and
too.
Here's my thing: if Beyonce put out a banger country album, I'd be like, "Cool, I get it." You know, I can't complain. But you literally went up against 3 country artists and then 1 hip hop artist that put out a country album.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I'm not even sitting here saying, "Yo, Post Malone should have won that." I'm not.
Not right. No, I get what you're saying.
But you're not telling me that your album was better than Chris Stapleton's. Maybe it sold more because again, it's like you put Beyonce's stamp of approval. And there's someone on this list that's in that same realm of your bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Just peddling the nonsense.
Yeah.
That it's so stupid. So I can't stand the Oscars. I can't stand the Grammys. It's all just a sham.
Dude, I was excited for this Oscars too because of Conan hosting. You know how I feel about Conan O'Brien. I thought he did okay. I just thought he did okay, and he's hosting it again this next year.
So dumb. I can't.
Yeah. I feel you, dude. I know it's ridiculous.
It is not fair. I've said this now. We've had this podcast for how many fucking years?
Yeah, like 5+ now.
I cannot stand the stigma of the Marvel nonsense. And if you want to say Infinity War Endgame shouldn't have been nommed, I don't agree with you. No. But fine. Dune Part 2 deserved every award, every nom, every costume design, every supporting actor, every act. That movie
soundtrack
is
that was disabled from a nomination. You hear that one? Did you hear that one?
Of course, yeah, because
it was too much of the same.
Well, there's a rule apparently that if a movie is associated with a song that has other involvement in it. I found out in Arrival, which is another Denny movie.
Yeah.
That movie was disqualified, and maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I read this the other night. That movie was disqualified from being an Oscar nom for Best Soundtrack because the song that people associated it with was played more than once, and that's why people associate it being such a good soundtrack because that song was so good, if that makes sense.
Gotcha,
so they played one song twice in the movie or 3 times or whatever, and that song was so good that people are like, oh my god, this should be the nom.
Right.
Where technically someone else put a whole entire album, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It's like kind of fluffing the numbers, but I don't know. I don't agree with it. Whatever.
I don't either,
it's dumb.
So.
I hate you all. You're all I'm so tired of just the nonsense of like the diversity and the inclusion and the whatever. It's nonsense. It is really, really, really nonsense. We can have good, independent, strong, amazing filmmakers and women artists and all those things.
Agreed.
And it not be we just
like,
have to give this award or give these noms. That's we literally. You could have given the best supporting to shit. It's gonna piss me off. What's the
From Dune?
Mm-hmm.
Austin Butler.
No. Actress or
actor. Zendaya?
No, well, I wouldn't even put...
Florence Pugh. No, she's barely in the movie.
But that's the other thing. No, Timothy's mom in the movie.
I don't know the actress's name.
What's her name?
She was great, though.
Great in it. So... The Brutalist, Felicity Jones, Zoe Saldana, Monica Barbeau for The Complete Unknown, Isabella Rosé as Conclave, and then Ariana Grande as Wicked, and that was supporting.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande, in my opinion, was amazing. So I personally think that should have gotten it.
Oh, for best supporting?
She was awesome. I think she did almost a better job than, I'm gonna butcher her name as, the lead in that movie, but whatever. I think it's just so skewed that no one's keeping up with it. Everyone is again. It's a popularity contest. No one's I'm over it. I really am. I think the whole entire industry's shot. But whatever.
I agree.
What it is.
I agree.
I think that's basically it.
I think so. I think we had a nice
If
run
there's
off
anything
of
else, I'll
everything.
just completely just rant about it in about 30 more minutes or something. But
Let's do a quick card.
Cool.
Quick card
Let's do
each. So we were keeping track with this beforehand, but my sister decided to erase them mid podcast one time.
go Gia.
So we're starting over. So season 1 is over with Luke as the winner. We are now moving on to season 2 of our card game with a fresh slate. So I'm going to show you a card right now. Ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Which one? This is an easy one, fellas. All right, what is the title of the film?
Top Gun.
All right, I'll just keep the notes on my phone here. All right, Luke 1. All right, what is the name of the actor in the picture?
Tom Cruise.
Okay, that's 2 points. All right, this one's for 2 points. What is the nickname of Tom Cruise's character?
Oh.
Oh,
Maverick.
Yes, correct. Okay.
I wanted
good,
to
very
say
good.
Goose. Because
No, okay, yes.
That's
Okay, I
his
can understand that.
co-pilot's
Yes.
name.
And this one's for 3 points. Which song does Tom Cruise's and Anthony Edwards' characters
Danger Zone.
performed? Correct.
Highway through the danger
Oh, wait, no,
zone.
it's not.
No!
Oh, I thought it was it too, but no, it was You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin' by The Righteous Brother.
Oh, was it when he's on the motorcycle? Did I even not let you finish? What is the...
What song does Tom Cruise's and No, at the bar.
Oh, didn't hear the bar. That's on me.
All right, there we go.
All right,
so
well,
you got 4 points there for
I
that
think
one.
I get points for Danger Zone.
For singing that? Yeah, that was beautiful. Oh, okay.
Title of the film.
The Matrix.
1 point.
Okay. I'm not going to get this next one, though. The
Actress.
I don't know it.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that.
Hey Siri, what movie's Carrie Ann Moss in?
She appeared in the film Austin Powers in Goldmember.
Yup, there we go.
In Goldmember she appeared in? Did she actually?
All right, listen, thank you. Shout out Siri. You're the GOAT for that. Out of all the movies they could have just pulled, that's what you
that's
pulled.
the one they
I love
chose,
that.
not the Matrix.
What's the name of her character?
Oh, God. People are going to kill me for this. Oh, Trinity.
Ah, there you go. 2
Yes.
points.
Okay. So I'm at 3 now?
Yep.
Okay.
Which popular children's book is referred to in the film? As they try to explain the Matrix.
Right. As they try to... I don't know it off the back of my head. I'm going to try to correlate children books. And I'm going to have to go with... Shit, dude. I don't fucking know. What is it?
Done?
Yeah, done.
Alice in Wonderland.
Good one.
The rabbit's
Good one.
hat.
There you go.
Would you like to go down the rabbit hole?
Yes, right. Okay, so
Is it
you
a
were
tie?
at...
Is it a
No, you're
tie?
at 4 points. I got 3 points.
Okay,
so
all right.
starting back off on the lead again.
We're back.
All right. And now we're going to move on to our tier list of toxic to best fandoms. So you want me to like state all the ones, all our choices
No,
here?
let's just read down it. Let's go piece by piece, and we'll just kind of talk it over.
Oh,
I guess.
fair
I think
enough.
That probably makes more sense.
Okay, so the first choice that we have for this tier list is Disney. It's definitely toxic in many means because Disney owns a lot and they are like starting to become not infamously known, but it's almost like a stigma for them to own to purchase something and own something and then make it terrible
Bad?
and make it bad.
Never heard that before.
So I think there's a lot of complaints about Disney more days than back in the day.
So you're D.
I am. Yeah, I am at. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll put it at D tier.
I'm gonna agree with you at D, and the reason being is that I agree with everything that you said. I think my Disney gripe is more. I love Disney. I grew up like a Disney kid. I love like the animation behind
Yeah.
it. I love like there's a ton of really good stuff with Disney. The theme parks are awesome. Like I hope one day like when I can take my
There's
kids.
great
and we can,
history.
There's a lot
with
of
that
there.
company. Yeah,
But to make another point towards what you said,
yeah.
Disney adults are terrorists.
Yeah.
Are terrorists. They need to be put on watch lists and literally be tracked. You should not be. I listen. I love the campiness of Disney, and I love that you could find a hidden Mickey in the bush.
Right.
But
The Easter
when I
eggs.
tell you that it's like if you sniff this wind when it comes in at 4:45 every day by Cinderella's castle, it'll remind bro.
Nuts.
You gotta calm down.
Yeah, I agree.
I have every Mickey Mouse ear that's ever been made.
Very psychotic.
The fuck are you talking about?
Right, yeah. 100%.
Do you have a mortgage?
yeah.
Sir, this is a Denny's. Like, no, I don't know. I think that alone is crazy, and I think that's something that like we need to stop. Needs to be brought to a complete stop.
It's never gonna stop.
It's never gonna stop.
Never gonna stop. Never stopping.
So, all right, let's put Disney
Yes.
at here. I'll put it at.
Go ahead.
At
Yeah.
D.
Very nice. Okay, good.
Cool.
I'm glad we agreed on that one.
All right, well, I'll let you take the next one as well because it's your.
Okay, so the next choice that we have on our list here is DC, like DC Comics, but we're obviously probably more specifically talking about the movies. Comics are great. There's literally, I don't really know much complaints about the comics. The movies, on the other hand, especially Zack Snyder's universe, that run, the movies were god-awful. Most of the movies were god-awful. But there was that silver lining of one or two good movies that the Snyder fans really, really stuck onto. And now we're hating on everything else that comes out on DC nowadays. Like, there are haters of this new Superman movie, and I just don't see why, dude. I just don't, because it's not Henry Cavill, because it's not directed by Zack Snyder, blah, blah, blah. There are haters, there are fandoms that could be toxic with it. But I fucking love DC, dude. So, I'm going to put it, not that high up, though. I'm putting it C tier. What do you think?
F.
No. Okay, why?
No, you know what? I can probably agree with C tier with you, and it more being that at the end of the day, I think DC fans deserve better.
Agreed.
Even though I now I've got that snippeted, and all I do is talk shit on DC. Damn it! I'm so screwed. Why would I ever
Listen,
say that?
their lore, their characters are
No,
excellent.
they deserve better. So I mean, like, I hope that James Gunn does a better job with this. I mean, listen, I told you I'm a little critical of this next movie, this Superman movie.
Yeah.
I think it looks interesting. I'm intrigued, but I don't know. I can't
You can't tell yet.
And I think it's really because we got so shafted by the last version of this stuff that it was so
Trust issues.
much more realistic, and now this is so much more campy and superhero.
Yes.
Now we're like, wait a second, what are we diving back into full superhero mode, or are we diving into realistic mode? What are we doing? So
Definitely not realistic mode for sure.
No, of course not like that. But yeah, I mean, I think C is a fine place. I don't really know many I know a lot of delusional DC fans, but
probably the Snyder people.
No, just in general. I mean, like. Todd, love you, but look, and not only, yeah, no,
I'm with you, Todd.
No, he's not. He's lying to you, Todd. Todd, we're gonna tag you in this, Todd. If you want, we'll tag you in this snippet here, and you can give your 2 cents. But
yeah,
no, you know what? Like I said, DC fans deserve it. But again, I talk to a lot of people that do have that love for DC, and the DC diehards that are like, they won't even listen to the argument of like certain Marvel movies being better. I'm like, all right, like that, I can't.
No, that's
I can't
too
entertain
much.
that. I can't.
Yeah.
What DC movie, excluding Batman, is better?
Then what? Anything Marvel?
Not anything. I mean, once you start
The
to get
best
to the
of
back,
Marvel?
the top 10 Marvel movies. Is there anything in there? Maybe the
Besides
first Man
Batman.
of Steel.
I think Man of Steel is up there over
The new Batman.
few.
The new Batman, maybe. I liked Robert Pattinson's
Oh,
Batman.
but are we excluding Batman?
No. Well, I'm saying the Batman, like
Dark
Nolan's
Knight?
Batman.
Right. Well, nothing you can't.
That's not, because that's in the top 10 of comic book movies.
Agreed.
But I'm saying, like, Pattinson's Batman, I'd put it maybe in
Yes.
the bottom half of that stuff.
And then Man of Steel 2.
Man of Steel, maybe.
But otherwise, dude, that might be it.
Aquaman, no.
The first
Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman
maybe was
maybe.
pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
I hope the Superman movie goes on that list that we just stated, dude.
We'll
and
see.
everything else that comes with it.
We'll
So,
see.
Yeah.
All right, Marvel.
Yeah.
Move on to Marvel.
I'll state my case with Marvel.
Right.
I don't think the fandom for Marvel is as bad as DC, but it's getting there, dude. Because now we start to see complaints nowadays of just anything they come out with now is just apparently terrible because it's not Endgame era anymore.
Get me
Infinity
going.
Saga era.
Oh yeah, get me
So
going, Frank.
it is starting to become a bit toxic. It's got to be higher than DC. I'm putting it at B because there's still much. It's not like DC where people have really given up on it and they're not showing up for the box office. People are still showing up for Marvel.
Okay, and I would agree. So here's my argument. I would put it in C.
Okay.
I will agree with you to put it in B.
Okay.
But I would put it in C because I agree with you 100% that I don't think it's as bad as DC and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's the same point that you made. People are so spoiled. We are so fucking spoiled with one or two bangers of movies,
Right.
and then everything else has to be top tier. And then
Otherwise
you
it's
don't
shit,
realize
right? Otherwise
that
they think
in
it's
10
terrible.
years from now, some of those Marvel movies that we thought were just okay are going to be good
You're gonna love them.
rewatches. You're going to put them on
100%.
for your kid. You're going to watch and be like, damn, I haven't seen this movie in 10 years. It wasn't as bad as I thought.
Right.
And that's what
Right.
pisses me off. We are so invested in digging our heels in and being like, that
Definitely spoiled, dude, I'm
everything
telling you.
is so obnoxious with it. So I'll put it at B. I would say I think some fans. Here's the thing. I don't think diehard Marvel fans are the B. I don't think diehard Marvel fans are the problem. I think it's the novice fans, the people that are casuals, and I say that in a nice way, but like we're diehards. We know I know fucking way more about this shit than I should. Like I'll talk to my wife. I'm like, "Did you see that T'Challa did?" And she's like, "Who the fuck is T'Challa?"
Yeah, right.
You know, so it's different. I think it's the casuals that are the problem, not the diehards. The diehards, I think we could even almost be in an A tier because we do ride with our movies for the most part. But I think it's
we still show up.
The people that jumped on the bandwagon after Endgame and Infinity War and were like, dude, these are really good, solid fucking movies. I like these. And then they saw Kang and they're like, this movie stinks. And it's like, all right, bro, come on, just get off. We don't need any more passengers on this train.
Agreed.
So that's my opinion.
There's already a lot. Yeah.
All right, next one we got is Pixar. I don't know. I mean, I would put Pixar at like A or B. I really would. I don't think Pixar is as bad. I think it's a different than a Disney adult. And I think it's more because Pixar's consistent. Pixar is consistent with movies.
Yes.
Bangers. And I think it's like Pixar is a lot more of a younger audience of kids watch it a lot.
Yes.
And then the adults that watch it end up really enjoying it. But I don't think it gets diverse or I don't think there's any moments where we're like fighting over that was a Trump reference or like you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's referencing the border. It's like what the fuck? Yeah. It's a Disney movie, my guy. It was like animated cartoon.
I think
what's your okay?
Oh, I kind of want to put it at S tier. You want? I'll give you my reasoning why.
Okay,
though.
I'm interested.
For some of the points that you brought up, like the adults end up liking it too. I think there's been more than enough really good Pixar movies now that the adults have realized. Oh, I'm showing up for every Pixar movie.
Every Pixar movie,
I'm excited
even
for
without
this
my
next
kid,
one.
which is weird, but whatever.
100%. No, dude. I do it. I don't care. The only complaint that I ever see, and it's very rarely, is some like woke bullshit that people complain about. Like people think it's woke or whatever. It's like get over yourself.
Well,
but
she has two moms. Or
wasn't that something in one of the movies? Whatever it was. Like, come on.
No offense. It's 2025. Who cares?
Well,
who cares? It's not. We're not pushing it down anyone's throat because that's the two moms. It's all good. Like you don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. But it's a fucking movie.
But I'm telling you that was out there. That complaint. But it's the only thing I've ever seen.
People will literally
was bad about it.
People will literally complain and say like there's not enough of a diverse cast in a Pixar movie, and you're like, you understand this is animation, right? Like, you know what I mean? That's fine. All right, I like the idea of Pixar at S tier.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're only limiting it to 2 S tier stuff.
Correct. So like one for me, one for you, basically. If that's how it will work.
Which
out.
it might not even fall out that way. You
right.
know what I mean? Like
correct.
we might end up not being having any other ones there, or maybe we'll have a ton. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm going to skip this one because I want to wait because I have a lot of
Fair
interesting
enough.
comments
I know
on this.
You do. Yeah.
We were going to do sports, right?
Yes.
So I think we're going to like speed run through some of these. So
Sure.
my opinion is I think the NFL is like A or B tier. I think that like not necessarily because the toxic fans, the bad fans are terrible.
Yeah.
But I think the NFL, in my opinion, gives the best content for the league. I think they're the best of all the leagues that are out there. I think they give us the best NFL/college, I guess you could say, in my opinion.
That's fair enough. I probably would have put it at B, but I'll accept the A.
Yeah.
But because I know what my A would be. The NHL. I love the fan
base. And I was going to put NHL though at A as well.
Yeah.
My
okay.
argument was going to be
Gotcha.
that I was going to say NHL is the next most die-hard,
Without a
where
doubt.
they're actually, you could be a casual fan, go to an NHL game, you're going to leave there and be like, holy shit, that was awesome. I know a lot of
100%.
people that go to Giants games or NFL games and they're like, all right, like that, whatever, like I got blasted, but like they didn't love it. But I think the NFL gives the best on-the-screen presence where you're watching a Monday Night Football game. You're watching the Thursday
Like on a
during,
TV screen,
you're always,
100%.
You're watching the Thanksgiving games. You're watching the Christmas Eve games. You're watching the New Year's Day games for college. Like, you're doing that kind of stuff. So that's where I would put it there. NHL, I love that.
Yeah.
NBA, I'm going to put D. I think it is some of the worst content now. I think it's almost unwatchable. Again, if you like it, no problem. This is our tier list. Stay out of my mentions. Unfollow me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I think the NBA has become just like an absolute joke. I don't even think people really play defense anymore. I think it's, I mean, they're like, their ratings must be awful. And WNBA,
Probably.
I think even there's an argument to say the WNBA's been more entertaining.
Does better and
I mean,
entertaining.
just the storylines of it. The most recent thing with like NBA was Luka going to the Lakers, which was like a huge thing. But even then, it's like, it was big for a day, and then it was like, cool, Luka's on the Lakers now, and everyone was like over it. Where if you have these monumental trades going on with the NFL, like Matt Stafford almost became a Giant. That was almost the most monumental thing ever. Aaron Rodgers is literally still on a holdout to decide what team he's going to play for.
Yeah.
So these are the crazy things that are going on.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion with NBA. MLB, I would probably put at a, I guess, B.
I was going to agree
and
with
I
that,
think the MLB more because I think everyone loves a good baseball game. If you've never been to a baseball game, it can be a great time.
Yeah.
I think the MLB is kind of one of those unfortunate ones where, like, I don't want it to be a dying breed, but it is kind of a dying breed. It's such a long season. I love the long season,
like
but I
in
think
that
people
sense of
have I think people have a hard time, like, digesting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
NFL is 17 regular season games,
quick.
playoffs, and then you're done.
Yeah.
It's long, but it's like one game a week, everyone's looking forward to it.
Right.
MLB, the Yankees will play a doubleheader on Thursday, 2 games on a Saturday. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on, and people are like, oh, I don't have to pick and choose what I watch as much, you know?
I got another A.
Okay.
I guess consider it PGA. Golf.
I would put PGA at B, and my argument to that would be that I've always enjoyed watching golf casually with my family. A lot of my family members really liked watching golf. I'm getting more into golf now.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more and more increasingly
But
popular.
I think people are using it as a crutch of like, yo, I'm a golf fan now. It's like everyone's doing
it's
it.
Like
you know
the
what I mean?
cool
It's like a
thing
popularity
now.
thing.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So that's where, for me, I would really put it as an A, but I think it deserves to be more of a B because it's, especially with like live and stuff like that, like with the whole like other league and stuff.
Yep.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it either way. I'm going to put it for B right now because I think there's other
I'm fine with
relevant
that.
things with it.
Yeah.
What else are we missing? NHL, MLB, NFL, NBA.
You were going to bring up...
I was going to say NASCAR.
Right.
I love NASCAR. I think NASCAR is a B tier one, and I think it's more because, like, if you've ever been to a... Like, I can understand if you don't like NASCAR because you put it on in the background and you can do whatever you want in the day. I love it because it's a good Sunday activity for me. I put it on the TV. It never has to leave the TV. I can do my clothes. I can do my dishes. I can do all the things that I have to do in the day and keep checking back on it and still enjoying it. I grew up watching it, though, so for me it's different.
Correct.
And the fans are pretty good. People think they're a bunch of old rednecks and whatever, but I would highly recommend going to a NASCAR event if you've never been.
Yeah, I've never
it's a
been.
Lot of fun.
I would like to.
It's a lot of fun, and I think it's a very, very good fan base for the most part. And it's a good time to get drunk and just hang out.
yeah.
And then I would put C tier as WWE.
Okay, there you
I'm
go.
a big wrestling guy. Grew up a wrestling guy. I've always enjoyed it. I personally think it's a fun entertainment. The thing I describe it as, I watched it when I was in middle school. I stopped when I got to high school. Then when I left high school, I kind of was like, you know what? I just kind of want to casually watch this. And then I got back into it, and I was like, you know what? I enjoy this as like my soap opera. I like this as a male soap opera, and that's what it is. And you know what?
Good way of putting it.
It's my go and sit down and watch something and keep up with these crazy storylines and enjoy it. That's my thing. Two other ones that I'll say.
Yeah.
UFC, I would put as an A tier. That's my opinion. I think the UFC is one of the better sports leagues. I've followed UFC almost like my entire life. My dad got into it when he was very young, just going to Atlantic City, watched one of the first like events there of a UFC fight.
Yeah.
So growing up, I remember going to his family friend's house to watch UFC fights on Saturday nights. I would fall asleep every fight. I'd watch the opening card fight, and then I'd pass out. And then my dad would wake me up at like 1 a.m, like, hey, the fights are over. I'm like, who won?
Yeah.
You know, so I think the UFC has gained a ton of popularity. I think it's a way
100%.
more entertaining sport that now people know it's not just a bunch of guys knocking each other's heads off. Right. So that's that. Another D, in my opinion, is boxing. Now, my argument with boxing is that boxing is one of the like MLB old school sports, right? It's been there forever. It's a staple. I think boxing is a D because people are so hyper fixated on thinking that it's still a relevant sport. Like, and not to say it like relevant.
Who's trying to make it still relevant though?
Listen.
Give me that answer, please.
Okay.
Social media influencers.
And here's my argument. WWE. Logan Paul and Jake Paul. They
did it
could
right.
be on this list. You can hate them as much as you want. They are the same thing as the Kardashians. They are people we talk about on a daily basis
1,000%.
because we can't stand their success. And that's what makes them so good.
Yeah.
Logan Paul is in the WWE as a wrestler, and he is one of the better heels that I've watched in the past 25 years of me watching it, because he goes out and people just boo him immediately. And his way of going about it is he'll go to Sacramento, and I was watching Monday Night Raw the other night, he just insulted every fan about like how they live in Sacramento. He's like, you guys aren't smart enough to live in San Francisco. You're not rich enough to live in LA. Like, it's genius. Every place you step into, you just piss people off.
Yeah.
And that is such a good thing as a heel, because then people just completely buy into you being
without a doubt
that good.
Yeah.
I just remembered one that I'd like to talk as what's going to be my nom for an S. But those are my opinions. Do you have any points on that, or do you agree with me basically on all that?
I agree with you as far as the boxing thing. I think it's a dying breed, but the people that are trying to make it like somewhat relevant are like these, like for instance, one of the Island Boys boxed someone and it was like a recorded event. It's like, who gives a shit? Like,
I thought they were like kissing each other now.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to Harry Potter, because that's basically the same thing as kissing a family member, if you like that, right? Come see me at the stand-up comedy lounge, you know. Yeah, no.
Harry Potter, I think, is high up on this list, to be honest with you. I don't see much hate towards it, except for, honestly, the author who wants to make changes years after, like, the series of books.
Well, isn't she low-key also an anti-Semite? Doesn't she hate Jewish people?
I'm pretty sure she's not a good person.
Yeah, so I'm going to put... My opinion is it should be a C, because I think Harry Potter fans are snobby. I think they think they're better than you. That's my opinion. I know a lot of Harry Potter fans that... Yeah, sorry I didn't ever learn how to read, and I like the movies better.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I
think C is fine, because if it was my opinion, I'd put you at F. I think some of you are the worst. I don't think you're all the worst, but I think some of you are terrible. But I think it's a good way to go about it with C and say that you're...
I'm fine with C, but for the record, I would... If I was making it on my own, I would probably put it at B. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to decide this. Heads, tails.
Sure.
B, C.
Okay. Heads.
B.
B.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm putting it at C.
Cool. I'm putting it at C.
All right. So now we're getting into the nitty gritty ones. I was going to talk about this.
What is it?
Anime. Anime is a little tough for me because I am not the biggest person in it, so I would say I don't know if there's any that you want to run off the top of your head, like maybe 3 of them that are like real good ones or bad ones or whatever.
Right. So for D, I'm gonna have to put Attack on Titan.
Okay.
So you can put just AOT.
They're
for
bad.
It. The fans are bad because the manga, the comic, came out before the show ended.
Yup.
Everyone hated the ending.
Okay.
Like Game of Thrones sense, like that type of deal. I watched it when it came out as a show. Thought it was perfectly fine.
But you're hated for that.
Yes, correct. Yes, okay. Right.
Yeah, sounds like every diehard fan base ever.
I'll be honest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Meanwhile, Attack on Titan is so amazing. It's not just one of the best animes. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It is.
That's crazy.
For
top 10? Top 10?
Yes. For a cartoon.
Top 10 everything or just cartoon?
No. Everything.
Everything?
Dude, the story behind Attack on Titan is so amazing. And
that's crazy.
The twists and turns it has. Yes.
Well, we also
stand by that.
We also talked about too, and we're only doing anime as like a broad one, is because we said we're gonna eventually do this as a cartoon one.
Yes.
We're gonna do a tiered cartoon thing.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be better, where we can do Family Guy, and we can do Teen Titan and Ben 10, and we can really dive into some of those ones that we love and like kind of talking about that, what we watched, what we did in Powerpuff Girls, S tier.
Oh, yeah.
S tier.
Yeah. It was fantastic. Mojo Jojo. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Samurai Jack, S tier.
Oh, my God, yes. Samurai
Dexter's
Jack's
Lab, S tier.
Yeah, dude, so many S tier.
We could just rip them all off. So that's going to be one that we're going to do in the next couple weeks, months, years, whatever. But that's one that, again, you guys can look forward to. And that's why we weren't going crazy with this. We were just kind of mentioning a couple of the cartoon/animes in that.
Well, that's the only one I'm going to bring up.
Cool.
I do want to bring up the anime culture and the people that make animes for a sec, though. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll put that.
They are so weird. They are very sexualized and sometimes, like, perverted. Like,
okay.
It's gotten very weird to me.
So, as an outsider, that's someone that does not know anime like that, I don't want to give my 2 cents on it. I think, look, everyone at the end of the day has your thing, right? And I think anime is something that, where Marvel was a nerdy thing and then became popular. Right. Anime has gotten a little bit more popular, right?
Correct.
It's like that. But I think
more
the
than
diehards that are there are really dove into being a little bit on that stranger side
100%.
than the Marvel diehards, because they're comic book people, like, for the most part. When you've got the anime people, they're like,
because there's an anime.
I'm not even gonna say it.
There's an anime for every like category of anything.
It's insane.
And I think, like, I've been shown some like clips of animes. I'm like, why? How does this exist? Like, how does this exist? How is this allowed?
This is porn. This is porn.
Basically,
porn.
Basically, and some of it's fucked up, and I just find it very weird. I am off. I'm proud to say, after Attack on Titan ended, which was last year, I am now off the anime train. But okay, that was my spiel.
Okay, so I have 2 that I would like to, because I think we're basically getting into. So there's 4 left on here, in my opinion, that are S or A that I think we really need to dive into, and then everything else on this list after this is going to definitely be C on.
Sure.
So I'm gonna read these couple off, and then I think we can just talk about them.
Yeah.
Thrones, Pokemon, Office, Seinfeld. My nom is going to be Seinfeld at S. That's my one nom. I think it is one of the best comedies of all time. There's actually one other one, Always Sunny, as well. I'm going to put that on here. I would put, for example, Always Sunny, I would put it A, because I think it's a very small, diehard fan base of Always Sunny people. Where I think they, like, we always get it. We always talk to each other of, like, oh my God, like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
That, like, that's the thing. And if you've ever watched an Always Sunny episode, like, you probably are like, oh, I liked it. But if you watch a whole season, you're like, oh my God, that was hilarious. Like, for the most part.
Right.
My tear is between Thrones and Seinfeld. Now, here's my argument.
For S? Okay.
For S.
Yeah.
I would put Seinfeld up there because what Thrones did to me at the end. I'm still okay with with Thrones.
Yes, yeah.
And for the most part, I don't think the fan base was terrible. I mean, the ones that are diehard hate the end. If I called Zach right now and said it, he would be like so mad.
Right.
So mad. So that's my opinion with it. Okay. I think that's my argument. And then The Office, I would also keep it A. And that's because I think it's one of the more consistent shows. I think everyone loves it and is diehard with it, and that's my opinion.
Okay, so Office, I want to take Pixar off S.
Okay.
We're going to put it at A.
Okay.
We're going to put it at A.
We're moving Pixar to A. I'll allow it. This is our first time, so I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
And you're going to put Office.
Yeah, I was going to put
Office. You're going to do Office and Seinfeld. Well, I'm going to do... mine is Seinfeld. Right. So I'm pulling the strings.
So my which one's better for S tier is Office and Pokemon. Because I don't hear much complaint about Pokemon either.
Cool. Now, we're going to put Office up here because I'm going to agree with you for Office for S.
Okay, now, fair enough.
I'm going to dunk on you with how quickly I'm going to shut down Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen how bad Pokemon is with the trading card market?
Oh, as far as selling cards?
Yep.
No, I am not.
It has become impossible for people to buy cards, packs, boosters, whatever, at Costco's because resellers will go and they'll put a pallet out. They'll run inside, grab as many as they can, put it in their carts, and leave.
Yeah.
Now, I get it. I was a sneaker guy. I worked at a sneaker store for almost 10 fucking years. Like, I know how it is, the resell. You grab as many pairs as you can, you resell them. I understood that. But when you get into the area of buying to create scarcity, to not collect, like me, as I bought my shoes, at one point I almost had, I think, almost like right under 300 pairs of shoes.
Wow.
That was like the height of me collecting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to take pairs away from people.
Right.
I wasn't like, I have every pair of Chuck Taylors on the... Like, that's not what it was. It was because I liked those shoes and I would collect the ones I liked.
Yes.
Now, with Pokemon cards, obviously part of it is for the financial gain, right?
Sure.
Like every card is. If you pull a Paul Skeens rookie card, you could have season tickets for the Pirates for 30 years.
Sure.
That's awesome. But now it's created the availability where the people and the kids that want to get into trading cards, which is a dying breed.
Correct.
Because video games control the market now. I used to have my Pokemon cards in a thing. I didn't know how to play the game, but I would bring them and we'd look at them and we'd love the holographic.
Oh,
and
I loved it. Yeah.
That was the awesome thing about it. So my opinion, I think there's no way we can put it at S tier because of what has happened.
Well, I agree.
With
now
it.
I didn't realize that. I agree with that.
That's my opinion. And if now, since I talked about it, you will literally start getting like advertisements on your phone of like videos of it, because you should see it. It really grinds my gears every time I see it. You'll have guys standing outside the vending machines that are like the Pokemon vending machines, and they'll just buy every pack. And there's people waiting in line like, I want to buy something, and they're like, nope, we're here
loses the
first.
magic of it too.
That sucks, dude.
It does.
Because it's like if I brought my kid to a ShopRite to buy a pack of cards, and there was a 45-year-old virgin loser piece of shit dumbass standing in line buying every one, and then when I went up there to go bring my kid up and buy a pack and it was completely sold out, I would see fucking red.
Right.
I would see red. That's why, in my opinion, I would put Pokemon at like C, because the cartoon and the diehard people that have loved it forever are A. But the people that have created this market are the
F, cards.
F for me.
And it's probably why the card... So then really we're putting it at B then, if we're going to meet in the middle.
If that's what you would like to do, I think that makes more sense.
Okay,
I think so. Only because, like I said, I would 100% even have the argument of putting it at S. I would.
Right.
But what the card market has created is a fucking nightmare. And it's toxic, and it's not fun, and no one is enjoying it. And I hate watching it. It's just not... I don't like seeing what it's become.
I know.
It's not right.
I don't like hearing it. Yeah.
So that would be that. And then, like I said, I think Thrones, we keep it A, because I think Thrones gave us a very good timeline of what we watched, a lot of consistency.
I'm fine with that.
And I think Seinfeld
because it's more than just Thrones too. Like the whole, if you're talking about the lore of the universe with House
everything
of the,
like that,
it's all good. So
yeah,
and people enjoy it. There's not much complaint.
I think Seinfeld is one of those ones that I don't think many, besides people not liking the final episode, I think most people just like will say, I loved Seinfeld.
Oh, good.
Like I loved watching it. I enjoyed it. It was a great time. I still quote it now. They still do like Seinfeld bobblehead days. They
Right.
still do like Festivus days, like things like that. So it's when that show has like kind of a lasting impact where I think it really, kind of coincides with being one of those like S tier things. And also it's like your fan base isn't toxic in my opinion.
I don't think Seinfeld has a toxic. The only complaint I hear about Seinfeld is that the only one that's not funny is Seinfeld. Everyone else is hilarious.
Yeah, that's what most people say.
But that's it.
I think he's
That's
fine.
not even
I
like...
think that's part of the shtick of it, though. You
Yes,
know what I
absolutely.
mean? So,
absolutely.
All right, cool. So the final 6 things we have on here are all basically C and on.
Okay.
I'm going to give you my 2 that I think should be basically in C and D.
Okay.
And I'd like to keep these 4 because I think we're probably all on the same page with where they're going to be, which is going to be either D or F. Now, my argument to you would be that with the 4 final ones, we can put these 2 in any of the ones we want, but I think with these 4 final, we have to put 2 in F and 2 in D.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't really read.
As we see, we'll play.
Yeah.
So, Rick and Morty and The Walking Dead. They're, in my opinion, back half shows. Yeah. I would put The Walking Dead at a C or a D, and my argument to that would be is I think they're a C because I think they were so good. They flew so close to the sun.
Yeah.
And they just kind of sparked out, and part of it's not even because the show got bad. It's just because when Glenn died, people stopped watching. Yeah. It is a statistic fact. Like, people after that episode, it went from 3 million to 1 million views. That is a numbers thing, not a content thing. Because as I said, it's not my favorite thing ever. I did not like some of the repetition of it, but there wasn't all bad in that amount of time. There was a lot of like, oh, this is actually pretty solid.
I'm sure.
So
I'm
that's
sure.
my opinion.
I would put The Walking Dead at D.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because I feel like the fan base is almost or close to non-existent. I think you still have not even just diehards, but people that just like the beginning episodes of the actual.
Of course.
I'm one of them. I love the beginning of it and whatnot. I would rewatch some episodes of that. But as of right now, as far as current stuff, it's just not there anymore.
Okay.
It's just not there anymore.
And I guess my only counter argument to you would be, if we were going up, for example, let's say that C and D, you needed to give one of these 2 shows a spot in each one. I would put Rick and Morty at D because I cannot stand diehard Rick and Morty fans.
Yeah, I think Rick and Morty I put at C.
I think Rick and Morty at C is because of the show, but the fans bring it to an F. I think the fans are almost...
Why do you think the fans are that bad? Because I've never noticed.
Well, I've always liked the show, but I've always hated the people that think they know more because the show isn't... Like, it's, you have to get it kind of show.
Oh, like, you gotta be smart?
You gotta be smart to know it, or you gotta really pay attention to know this show. I don't like those people, so that's my opinion. So... let's flip again.
Okay, let's flip.
Yours is going to be Walking Dead D and Rick and Morty C.
Correct.
Mine is going to be the opposite.
Yes.
This time I'm doing heads.
Yeah. It's heads. There you go. All right. So, right. Rick and Morty at D. And then Walking Dead at C. I'm not mad at that. Anyway, I think it could have went either way. Yeah.
I think, oh, look at that. I'm writing Walking Dead C. I think it's still like a good, good placement. I don't think it's the worst thing
it's
ever.
not. It's not. Yeah. One thing I'll say about the Rick and Morty shit, too, is that was one of those shows that, like, if you knew, you knew. If you know, you know. Like, in the sense of no one knew about Rick and Morty. It was one of those random, just went on Adult Swim shows.
Yeah.
But after all the popularity it's got, it's like, not cool anymore.
It just blew up. Yeah.
Cool
well, it
anymore.
was it was cool to watch it for the longest time, and then it became not cool to watch it anymore.
Exactly.
Which is like, all right,
exactly.
This is exhausting. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. What else we got?
So I'm going to show Frank the final 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree and have him agree that the final 4 are going to be the ones that I think we need to put 2 in D, or even 1 in D. Maybe do we just give one of these a D and the rest go all in F, or do you want to do 2 and 2?
Yeah, 2 and 2.
All right.
I mean, and one of them is a reach for me because I don't think it deserves to be that low.
And the one
you know what it is.
The one he's saying we'll go to next, which is
Friends.
It's the worst. I hate it. I can't stand it. I think the fans are are unbearable. I think people that think Friends is funnier than Office, Seinfeld, Always Sunny, I think you're crazy. I think Friends
I mean,
has
I don't
good
agree
stuff.
with that statement
Yes,
either.
but you don't think it should be there, and I get
right.
that.
I think it is a good show, but I don't think it compares to Seinfeld.
My
or
argument
like
is that it's a decent show with a cult following fan base that are convinced that it's better than it is. That's what, for me, puts it in this bottom half, because I mean, like, I'd be even okay with saying it's a C show, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But my argument is that, like, it's like, okay,
the fan base.
If you were the best show ever with a shitty fan base, it's like we can sit there and say, like, all right, you have to be up towards the top, or okay, you know what, F, just because it's like you guys are the most unbearable people ever.
Yeah.
But instead, I think it's the fans are so, I don't want to say delusional, but they're like, no, dude, it's the best. It's like
the best
it's got
out
great,
there.
like, we were on a break.
Yeah.
I have a turkey on my head. Like, it's fine. It's so fine. It's so mediocre. In my opinion, it is so mids. So
if we're just doing D and F, it's for me, Friends, it's got to be D for me.
Where would you put it if you didn't? If it wasn't stuck in D and F.
Probably ought to be.
So let's do this. Let's flip for D and C. Same thing.
Well, where you wanted it at F?
I would put it at D, and
so
you'd
then
put
let's
it
meet
at
at
B.
the middle then.
You'd put it. So let's put it in C.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'd rather meet in the middle than flip it to let it be one or the other. To be honest with you.
All right. So Friends.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Friends is going to already piss a lot of you people off anyway. Now, we could have made how many more, right? We could have done Sons of Anarchy.
So many of them.
We could have done Breaking Bad, right? We wanted to do Breaking Bad. We wanted to do, there's a million different shows you could do.
Yeah.
By the way, Breaking Bad B.
Dude, I would put it at A.
All right, cool. Let's just throw it in there.
Yeah, I would put it at A. Absolutely.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Well,
Sons of Anarchy C.
I never watched. I can't really add to that.
I'll put it C.
Okay.
Because it was good, but it was whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the good one. We're gonna do the two artists first, and then we'll end with my favorite that is gonna just be the worst. So I think we could probably both agree. Okay. Kanye West and Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Now, not together either. We're not talking about the fiasco at the Emmys that when you're like each separate.
That would be an A. That would be an A.
We're talking about each artist separately here.
So, okay, as someone that obviously now has to, disassociate himself with the man that Kanye West is now.
Right.
Look, I am. It's a very slippery slope for what you want to say in a situation like this, right?
Because here's my argument.
So again, if you know me, you know I'm probably one of the more diehard Kanye fans. Again, I've been to his fashion shows. I had seen album premieres. I've seen him a ton of times. I collect his stuff. I do whatever. So, I try to disassociate the crazy prior Kanye with the artist when he was just doing his. Listen, I loved that he was out there, and I loved that people were so pissed off that he was just the guy that said what came to his mind. Right. I loved that. I did. Then when he took that next step, it really just disappointed me
because it wasn't that anymore.
Because it's not. You know what? I love that he is so. I want to piss people off, and anything he does will do that. I love that. I love that about him.
Me too.
But when you cross that line and become borderline anti-Semitic or borderline, again, what he's doing is to piss people off. What he's doing is he's not. I don't thoroughly think he's a racist, bigot, whatever.
I don't either.
I think he's doing it to get a rise out of people, but in that, he's doing it in such bad taste. Correct.
Such bad
Which is wrong, and that's why, like I said, I'm trying to disassociate and just take a second from him.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm like, look, I'm going to still listen to his old music. I'm going to boycott him in the sense that I'm not going to support the new stuff that he does.
Right.
I'm not going to go and buy the new clothes, and I'm not going to buy the Yeezys now and whatever he's doing. That's not what I'm doing now. The old Kanye West that I bought, and I don't want to compare these things because this is where, again, someone will try to get me canceled, but whatever. Good luck.
He was always like that all along.
No.
Stuff like that.
We idolize an artist that has a checkered past. That's not Kanye. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, a checker? What do you mean by checkered
past? Not a good past.
Okay.
that he did things. He's no longer with us.
Yeah, I mean,
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is considered one of the greatest artists of all time, and we as a society love to forget that he was basically touching kids.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not comparing the two because the Kanye stuff of the way he's acting about the Jewish, you can make jokes like Seinfeld, or Seinfeld doesn't make jokes like that, but you can make very like, oh my God, that was a crazy joke, like a Family Guy or like a South Park,
yes.
where you're like, holy shit, did he just say the Jews control the media? Like,
right.
No one's sitting there like, holy shit, this is real. The Jews are controlling the media. You know what I mean? No one's sitting there saying, oh my God, it's fact. Yeah. But we're like, why the fuck? What? Okay, cool. Like, why are you saying it like that? But it's when you cross that line and become that
and
guy.
really never went back.
No, and he hasn't went back. I mean, listen, he tried to kind of go back to teetering, and then he put out stuff, and you're just like the swastika stuff, and you're like, dude,
it's terrible.
You just
so bad.
really did not do it. So as a diehard, I will put him at an F.
I think it's at an F because I think he's losing all his fans heavy.
Believe me, as someone that is still in like keeps up with a lot of those like fan pages and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are falling off with him and stuff. Yeah. But there are a lot of people that still ride for him. Look, the thing I just didn't like was I had a ton of people, contacting me afterwards, and they were like, "Oh, what's your boy doing? How do you feel about this?" And it's like that's great.
I was one of them.
Exactly. But, but that's the thing. It's like you and multiple other people hit me up, and it's like that's what I don't like. It's like I've been such a ride or die for this guy for so fucking long. I can literally remember exactly where I was. I can remember where I was when I heard My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy for the first time.
Yeah.
When I heard Runaway for the first time, I can remember where I was. Yeah. I was in my living room on my floor. I had a Berber floor couch. I was sitting by the fireplace listening to him perform it in the red thing, and my mom was like, I hate this. And I was like, I love this. Yeah. This is the best thing that's ever happened. Right. I was like, this is amazing. I remember watching my TV. It was on the mount. I can remember that. That was one of my favorite moments ever in music.
Yeah.
I love that song. It's going to forever be one of my favorite songs. I don't care. Cancel me. That's fine. I don't associate with who he is now as the person that I loved as the artist and the person.
Right.
Can I completely not support everything he's doing and say I don't support that and say I don't fuck with that? Yeah. Do I still and will I still listen to the old stuff that he did? Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah. Because if you're going to tell me you've completely boycotted him, you're okay, that's great. But guess what? You still use your iPhone. So your child labor stuff is out the door. You can't talk about that. Right. You still wear Nike shoes, so that's out the door. And I'm not comparing the two because, like I said, Kanye's a piece of shit. I loved his music, but he's a piece of shit. And I loved that piece of shit for a hot second, but I don't support it. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But I will do what I'm doing now with not supporting him and doing it that way, but, I will still appreciate what he gave me in the good times of it.
Right, absolutely.
Just like everyone does with Michael Jackson prior to him touching children.
I also think Kanye is, actually, sick, and I do feel bad in the sense, too, but I'm not actually, that's actually not a defense for him at all.
I unfortunately think he's one of those guys that's where you say, you say you're, and I think part of this is too, he got so caught up with, have you ever seen the people that say, oh, well, Hitler was a genius? Yes. Because they're like, oh my God, he was such a smart military mind and he was in People's Magazine. They say these people were so, oh my God, he was a military genius and whatever. I think Kanye became hyperfixated on being well, these are the most, well-known people of all time. Kanye's going to end as one of the most well-known people of all. Everyone knows who Kanye West is. Everyone knows who that is.
He was before all these stupid comments.
That's going to be a bad thing at the end of it. And that's what breaks my heart. Is you don't want that. You don't want you to be remembered for that. I want you to be remembered for the good things you did.
100%.
For the people you supported during your time and for the great music you put out. You know? So that's what sucks about it. Now we'll go to his best friend, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, right? Taylor Swift, Drake. Same concept, same
good concept.
realm,
yeah,
correct?
Good way of putting it.
They're artists that put out music that the fans love, the casual fans love, the diehard fans love. Now, I hold them as such a low standard with it because when you get to that point of stardom, I feel like you just get comfortable. Now, I would disagree with, I think Drake has just mailed it in. I think he just knows he's going to
I'm
put
not
out.
a fan of his music. I never was, actually.
I think he knows that he is just someone that could put out, like, he could literally put out a song that's like, boop, beep, boop, bop, 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 that could be the song, and people would be like, absolute banger, never heard anything better.
Right.
Which is what Kanye fans were. Again, me included back in the day. That's he used to put out.
Yeah.
He put out Poop Diddy Scoop.
Yeah, make sure
Did I mute it?
Yeah, you muted
He
it.
put out Poop Diddy Scoop, and I was like,
Correct,
this
I was just
actually
thinking
might
that.
this might be one of the best songs ever. You
I was
know,
just thinking
not
that, yeah.
really, but that's Drake, right? Everyone is like, dude, A-tier album, and I'm like, you're crazy. It's not. That's not what it is. It's not a good album. It's fine. He has not been the same artist for a very long time, but he puts out stuff that he knows is going to sell, and it's going to be good, and it's going to get numbers, and he's going to listen.
Yeah.
And I think to a degree that's where Taylor Swift is now. I think Taylor Swift is smarter because I think she is a good artist in general.
I agree with that.
And I think she's a smart artist where she will find where the people need that, like what they need, and she'll put out an album that kind of resonates with that.
Yeah.
But I just don't like her because, in my opinion, and this has nothing to do with the Kanye thing. Obviously, we know where I stood back in the day with it. Whatever, it is what it is. I think she's a whiner. I think she's a bait. Like, I think she is a.
Why?
I think she's a crybaby. I think I watched her documentary, biopic, whatever, and like, I thought I would find some like sympathy in it and be like, you know what, I can understand with the Kanye thing and whatever. And it kind of seemed like she just complained and cried like the whole time.
I didn't watch
now,
it, so.
Her, I can't really stand her, but I'd still put her at like a B or C. Her.
Yeah.
Because she's smart. She's good.
But we're talking about her
she's
fans.
She's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Her fans.
Yeah. The Swifties.
Now, you guys think that I am this terrorist prior to the Kanye being just a terrible person. You guys thought I was a terrorist for just being a Kanye fan back in the day. The things that you'll hear that Swifties will do to buy tickets, to fucking like... It's insane. Like, and now mind you, it's... I think the Ariana Grande one was worse, I think people were saying, or whatever. But you just hear so much, like Taylor Swift fans like creating burner accounts to like shame people online and all this different stuff.
That's
and it's
crazy.
like, this is what I don't like about these diehard fan bases. It's like, you're supposed to be inclusive. You're supposed to want people to like what you like. You're supposed to want to make people feel a certain way.
If you do already both like the same thing, it's the community aspect of it also, and I guess
feeling.
that's not there.
Yeah. So that's my opinion. You know, again. I would put her at a D. I think...
I'll put that at D, too.
Yeah.
I put that at D, yeah.
I mean, you know, we're going to get a lot of people that don't like us for that. I just think... I think she's smarter than better at being an artist.
Yeah.
I think she knows exactly what needs to be put out. She's very talented. Don't get me wrong. She's a super talented
I also do think...
artist.
I do think she herself is a very nice person in taking care of her workers and everything like that too, and donating to them after her tours and everything.
I think the whole that's great. You do the give back stuff and everything. I don't love the whole like you sit on one side of the we need to make the environment a better place. We need to do better. You literally fly on a private jet like every other day.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't. And again, I get it. Like, you're not gonna get on a bus as being Taylor Swift at this point in your career, but you can't.
Probably your own safety,
but it's
honestly.
the hypocrisy. You cannot sit there and say like, "Oh my God, everyone should do better, so we don't have fossil fuels ruining the world."
Right,
brother.
I know.
You literally flew to a Starbucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
not actually, but it's
I
just,
get the concept.
It's just the craziness of that. And
what's our last one, Luke?
And at that, we'll end the podcast. We're done. There's nothing else to talk about. There's no other diehard fan bases that we need to speak about being just absolutely abysmal or anything, right, Frank?
That's besides one. Star Wars, baby. The S of S's tiers ever. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's at an F for sure. Star Wars F tier. You want to know the problem with Star Wars fans is that
everything.
Yeah, that's the old one. No. I knew it was there. It's just a race there.
Tell me the problem with Star Wars fans, Frank. Here, use this microphone.
Yes, I'll use both microphones here. Double fisting, as I say. Oops, what? What do you call it?
Pause.
Star Wars was such a worldwide spreading phenomenon when it first came out that the expectations for it had become so high right from the beginning. I don't think it was luck that 2 more movies came out and it even exceeded those expectations. It was what came afterwards. And it's just constant hate, even for good stuff now, just like I was talking about with Marvel. Yeah. That's all I got to say. And that's coming from a spectator.
Yep. Yeah.
Not the biggest Marvel fan. I mean, Star Wars fan. Yes. Yes.
I'm back. I'm live. All right. Yeah. So, this is tough for me because this is my actual longest tenure of all these things.
Right.
I have watched Star Wars longer than I've watched any of these things on here.
That's yeah, right. And,
so
and you agree with the yeah, there you go.
And that's the thing. If I'm agreeing with the F, then that's a problem. Now here's the thing. I think like-minded, good Star Wars people that are good with it, like, it's fine. We're good. I think I consider myself like an S or an A tier Star Wars fan because I like to kind of give everything the benefit of the doubt, besides like the Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, whatever the fuck that garbage is. But, look, it's you get, we've created such a bad fan base of where everything is bad. Everything is wrong. Everything is... And I'll be the first one to say, I used to shit on the Han Solo movie. I was like, oh, terrible idea. We don't need this. Then it came out, and I was like, oh, this is fine.
Pleasantly
this is
surprised
good.
by it.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Same thing. Rose Tico, right? Was Rose...
Oh, from Rise of Skywalker and whatnot? Yeah.
Completely, ran off set because of how bad the fans are. Like, they're so toxic of how they act. Like, it is just such a, no offense, as a diehard, you're losers. We are all losers that watch this stuff. That's what we are. So for you guys to sit there and harass people into being bullying them, you're doing exactly what you got happened to you when you were in school. You got bullied as a kid, and because you were a Star Wars fan. Now that you're a Star Wars fan and things that you don't like are happening to your canon, you're bullying people that have lives and real things going on, which is absurd. And I hate it because it's so hard to rally people in at Rebels is amazing, Bad Batch is amazing, Andor is amazing. There's really good stuff in Star Wars right now.
Agreed.
There's great things. The anime series is amazing. Visions is awesome.
Visions, right.
There's really great things going on in Star Wars, but we built up, after Episode 1, we built up this toxic, and even me, I'll be the first one to say the prequel trilogy I used to hate on.
Everyone did.
It was the stuff that came out for me, so I loved it. I really did.
Yeah.
But I always was like, these movies are ass. They are. 4, 5, and 6 are way better, and then, for me, it was 4, 5, 6. I think my ranking used to be, again, it was 5, 4... Then I think I would do 6. Then it was 3. Then it was 2. Then it was 1 back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's kind of still the guidelines of it now. I think now you throw 7 in there somewhere and say, it was good. It was a good nostalgia movie, and then it was fine.
Yeah.
But it's just we've created such a bad fan base, and that's what's so wrong.
I think it's hard to join it.
Yeah,
nowadays.
It's impossible to join it. You can't recommend it, and that's what sucks. You can't be like, go watch this. Someone's like, why would I watch
Well, who are the people that are going to recommend it? The people that are hating on it.
Yeah.
Well, they won't be right.
Yeah, of
they
course,
won't
they
be
won't be
recommending it.
Yeah. Everything Star Wars does now is ass. I'm like, okay, well, have you watched Bad Batch? No. Have you watched Clone Wars? No. Have you watched Andor? No. Have you... So
it's even worse so when they do watch something that is actually good content,
and they're
still hating on it.
Yep.
I think people have totally given up on it. Most of the time,
though, I think that's not as much it. I think it's the people. I think it's more people not watching it at all. I don't think it's the people watching it and hating on it.
Could be, yeah.
I think it's the people watched episodes 7, 8, and 9, and they were just like, I'm done with it. Which I get. I understand why you would have done it, because at that point, Disney just massacred your baby, and I get that.
I could get it, too.
I understand it. But at the same time, 7, 8, 9, there's fine things that you can take out of there. There are. They're not the best things ever, but you can sit there and say, okay, these are fine, whatever, and then you move on. It's the same thing. Obi-Wan, it was not my favorite thing. Boba Fett was not my favorite thing. But there were cool parts in it where you're like, all right, this is interesting. They flushed out characters that you haven't seen in live action. All right, cool. This is interesting.
My main aspect to it is that don't fuel an existing problem, as in if you don't watch it, why are you going online still saying that it sucks? You didn't watch it. You never are gonna watch it.
And that's
why
my
are you
thing.
adding to that fire?
And that's my thing that I hate. It's when I talk to fans that are like, no, Star Wars is ass, and I'm like, okay, what have you watched recently? And they're like, I don't know, like I saw like like Rise of Skywalker in like the movies. I'm like, okay, so you saw a movie 4 years ago, and you said that was gonna be the bad thing about it,
right? Listen, I get your idea, but if you've given up on the franchise because of, let's say, one bad movie that you saw, fine, so be it. Just don't add to the hate. That's it.
Yeah,
I don't mind if you don't watch any more of it.
It's the same argument I've made every time. I don't need your opinion. Like, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah,
I
right.
like to say you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Right.
Because, again, Star Wars for the most part, Marvel for the most part, are good, constant shows.
Oh, yeah.
Movies, characters.
Yeah.
Star Wars has the biggest presence on here. Globally.
With Disney.
Globally.
Globally. Yeah.
I would say people know Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO. That is probably, if not behind Disney, number one, right? Walt Disney.
Right,
On
Mickey
this
Mouse,
list,
and
who
then
else?
you got
Who else
the
is
Star
Mickey Mouse,
Wars
and then
characters.
Yoda,
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse and Yoda, and then Darth Vader.
Yep.
So you're talking about, like we said, an S tier content piece, but an F tier fan base,
Right?
Which is so hard because that's where you want to sit here, and me especially, I'm like, I want to be at C, but I can't because you as fans and me as a fan, I like to consider myself B through D. I can be critical.
Yeah.
I enjoy a lot of it. I'm on the B side because I support a lot of the shit that people hate.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's not as bad as you think. But then it's, again, the people that are like, no, I haven't seen any of that stuff, but I just know it's ass. And it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
you
not
just
even
know
giving it
it's
a chance.
ass. Like, you're not watching anything.
What? Yeah.
So, it aggravates me so much. It pisses me off beyond belief, but that's it. So, yeah, Star Wars is an F. I think that's very on brand.
Very on brand, and I think the perfect finale for it as well. We set our pieces on it.
Yeah, listen, I think this is a pretty good tier list. I mean, you guys will obviously be the judge. If you think we did any wrong, please comment them, post them, share what you would have changed. I think that's the best thing,
Without a doubt, we're gonna post the official tier list for this of everything we just talked about on social media. So make sure to follow us on Loggin On @LogginOn on Instagram and X. What's the Instagram one called again? Of Twitter. What's it called? Why am I forgetting it?
Threads
and Facebook, all that stuff. We're on all that stuff, so we'll be posting the tier list on there. We would love to hear your comments on where you would want to place them, if you agree with us, disagree with us, that and so forth. Luke, thanks for joining the pod today, man.
Of course, that's why I'm here.
This was a good idea. I think we should continue doing this more
I agree.
for other type of topics we do. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. And also make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Listen to this podcast audio version on Spotify and all that other good stuff. That'll be in the link description also. And with that said, peace out.
One of my first students, and you were the first guitar student that I had that progressed from this is the tuning gears, this is the showing you the layout of the guitar, to playing songs. You got it. I mean,
I am so proud of myself, my man. That's awesome.
I'm proud of you too. And I really missed when you left. I mean, I've had some excellent students. She started giving me the guitar students that the other teachers didn't want, because they had ADHD maybe, or they were on the autistic spectrum. I have a little experience with that from a family member, and that was something that I never realized that I would enjoy so much too. And I still have 3 autistic students that I do Zoom lessons now.